Howdy swings. The market would be influenced by waiting for Nvidia's earnings report. The market started the day with losses, but ended with gains. Despite taking into account the impact of Nvidia's earnings, the market is experiencing more uncertainty than was anticipated. Is there optimism in the market ahead of the major event? Let's take a look at Fullhapce daily swing market forecast to get some answers. Let's review daily market index movements. The market barely moved, with the VIX down nearly 5%. SPX, 5,625.8, 0.16% up. Dow Jones, 41,250.5, 0.02% up. Nasdaq, 17,754.82, 0.16% up. Russell 2000, 2,212.6, minus 0.67% down. VIX Index, 15.42, minus 4.52% down. Let's look into daily sector performance. Travel/leisure, semiconductors, insurance, some media, consumer staples, railroads, aerospace/defense, and restaurants did well. Regional banks, energy, housing/building materials, some traditional media stocks, some consumer discretionary stocks, capital goods, utilities, and transportation performed poorly. Here are the reasons. The trading session was very calm as investors were getting ready for a lot of technology company earnings reports expected to be released after Wednesday and Thursday. There wasn't much news on Tuesday that influenced the market significantly. None of the earnings reports or economic data released on Tuesday were very impactful. Here are the things to consider. The 2-year Treasury auction went well at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, showing strength despite recent drops in yields. In China, optimism grew on Tuesday due to faster growth in industrial profits in July compared to June. Jake Sullivan, a U.S. official, is having several days of discussions with Chinese officials in Beijing. In the U.S., the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Survey for August exceeded expectations. Japan's Service Sector Producer Price Index, PPI, decreased in July, easing some pressure on the Bank of Japan, BOJ. In the UK, shop prices dropped into deflation for the first time in nearly 3 years. Geopolitical tensions in the Middle East saw a slight decrease after recent conflicts between Hezbollah and Israel. Ukraine's President Zelensky stated that a recent military operation into Russia aims to end the war. Here we present the daily market forecast for swings. The weekly market potential is strongly bullish. On the other hand, the daily market potential is bearish and has been unchanged for 3 days, waiting for news. Therefore, the S&P 500 index, SPX, is struggling to break above the strong resistance at 5650. There is also a lot of uncertainty and volatility in the daily market. On Tuesday, the market performed a little better than expected, but the volatility and uncertainty was still higher than expected, and the expected correction in the financial and biotech sectors did not happen. The market is likely waiting for Nvidia's earnings release to determine its next move. By the close on Wednesday, the SPX may have recovered from last week's high near 5,650 as it awaits the big event. If Nvidia's earnings announcement is good and meets market expectations, the market has the potential to break above the current resistance and reach new highs. Here are some additional insights. There hasn't been any significant news recently, so the situation remains the same. Favorable economic data, strong earnings reports, and easier monetary policies like lower interest rates suggest that any drops in stock prices will likely be short and not very deep. However, stock prices and people's expectations are considered very high, which makes the market sensitive to bad news. Here is the devil's advocate. The opposing scenario is that the market could plunge sharply and test SPX 5450. This could be an opportunity for bullish traders to buy at a lower price. The rationale for this scenario is as follows. There is a possibility of an unexpectedly bad report from Nvidia's earnings. There are ongoing high tensions between Ukraine and Russia. Russia has conducted numerous airstrikes over the past 2 days. Ukraine is seeking approval from the Pentagon to use U.S. weapons for broader targets within Russia. The Middle East remains unstable, with little hope for a successful ceasefire agreement in Gaza currently. There is also the potential for Iran to launch retaliatory strikes against Israel. The U.S. might start escorting Philippine vessels on resupply missions in the South China Sea, which could increase tensions with China. While there is merit to the opposite scenario, we believe it is unlikely because market behavior implies favorable expectations for Nvidia's earnings and is focused on that alone at this point. Nevertheless, traders should be wary of the concerns raised by the naysayers. The conclusion is as follows. While the overall weekly market trend is bullish, the daily market appears to be uncertain and volatile. The direction of the market will depend on Nvidia's earnings report, which will be released after the market closes on Wednesday. The market is generally optimistic about the earnings report. On Wednesday, there is a chance that the S&P 500 could reach 5650, the same as last week's high. The big event could be followed by a modest rally. It may be wise for traders to remain optimistic but not too aggressive and to have sufficient safeguards in place. Also, traders may be wise to consider both our main forecast and opposition scenarios to manage risk effectively. Thank you for watching. Fullhapce Intelligence, the best investment partner for swing traders.